Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. This is the Open Space Committee and it's Thursday, January 18th. So our first item on our agenda is discussion of the OSRD with Vice Chair Michelle McEachern.
Hi, I'm here to take your comments, questions, regarding the open space residential development bylaw that is currently in a draft phase. This is something that went to town meeting about a year ago. Or no, it might have been a little more than that now. And then it came back, it was gonna go to fall town meeting. We didn't feel it was ready. And so this committee still hasn't had a chance to review or comment. And obviously if it's open space residential development bylaw, open space should absolutely weigh in. And, that's what I'm here to gather your thoughts, comments.
A couple of
concerns.
questions.
Yes, go right ahead.
So, well, everyone will require a homeowners association, is that right?
So the way that it's set up, it's by special permit only. So that means it would have to go through a thorough process, through the planning board. And when you say an HOA for all of them, it would be, so I believe so. I think one of the questions that we had at one point is whether the open space should be kept by the residents. And it was said that we didn't think that that was a good idea, so it should be another option.
Absolutely, because these areas shall be owned and maintained by a homeowners association, so if that's true, would every deed have a restriction on it that says you have to be part of the homeowners association?
Yes, that would be how it is.
Okay.
But so it wouldn't apply to the open space stuff.
Right, I'm talking about the homeowners, because, I mean, I think it would need to be in there, because some people say, well, I don't want to be part of a homeowners association. So it should probably have it written into the deed
Yes,
for the house.
yes.
I have a question for you. So the different colors, the red and the green, any
right.
significance, or is that just what you guys did?
So the red is some items that we agreed to add. There's some purple, a very small amount.
Yeah.
And so these are different allowances. So that one of them is allowed 20% of lots to have frontage reduced to 50 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is, planning board may reduce this figure to a minimum of 40 if it determines there's unique circumstances. So we discussed, having these allowances tied to something, like if, but we haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
It was more of a discussion, should we tie it to including, age-restricted units, affordable units, something along those lines is what we had discussed. So that's what the purple is. I think there's a green section.
Yeah, there's a green section.
And so that was, prohibited uses. So one of the drafts, we had prohibited uses, and we talked about, do we want to add that back in? So, like I said, this is still in rough draft form. We wanted to get, before going further, we wanted to get input from,
I think you should keep them.
yeah.
I mean,
so-
you may want to tweak them, but
Right.
I think so, because if you don't, what are people going to give an inch and they're going to, it's human nature.
Right. All right.
Michelle, I just have another general question, just to better understand this. What was the main driving force? This is a new document. What was the main driving force for putting this together?
So the open space residential development is mentioned in our town master plan. It's also mentioned in our previous housing production plan, as well as the housing production plan currently under review. So it is one of those things that was seen as a tool, not only for, developers to have a little bit of a benefit to rather than developing a large area, and then the town will have the benefit of that open space, because that's one of the things that's a very common theme in town. People want to protect open space. So this was one of the options that we could adopt that will help preserve open space.
Thank you.
I have another question. Section D, number 4, about Native American artifacts. You should add in there the Mass Historical needs to be informed of that. Not just the Native American tribes,
Okay.
but Mass Historical should be involved in that. In section F, a simple question, number 6. It says, public access to proposed preserved open space, including paths, shall be provided where appropriate. The plan will show the location, construction details, and signage for pathways. Paths in the OSRDs shall not be utilized for snowmobiles and things like that. Will you put up fences? Will you put up just signs? Because I have open space property, and people are always coming into my open space property. I mean, I had 100 in my property who told me I shouldn't be on my own property. Perfectly signed. I had people ride their horses onto my property. We found out who it was because I had a camera. We went to the police went to the house and said, please stay off the open space property. So the result of that was someone who was riding the horses on my property came and tore down all my no trespassing signs. So I think that's something that you really need to be aware of.
Yeah, that's definitely a
I mean, I
good,
don't know that signs will be enough, and I'm not really sure how you'll handle that, but that's something that you need to be aware of.
yeah, definitely, that sounds like something good to
I
add.
mean, it would be a liability, if anyone were to get hurt, it would be a liability to the town, because it's town land. Is it, and like, in, G, number 4, where the boundaries of open space are not readily observable in the field, the planning board shall require placement of surveyed bounds sufficient to identify the location of the open space, which is the same, on the same idea. But these are two things that I think you need to be aware of. That's enough from me.
All right.
I just had a question. If there's open space in these areas, they're gonna be for the public, right? Like the whole public can go? Anybody, or is it just gonna be to the people in that?
No, it
development?
is open to the public.
It is open to the public, so that means, like there has to be a parking area?
Yes,
That'll have to be into it.
yeah. Right.
Okay.
And I think it does say something about parking in here.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, you got, on,
What is it?
I think, F6, public access.
Oh, yeah. Well, in 7, parking for.
It doesn't say parking so much.
Oh, there it
On
is, yep.
7.
Number
Yeah.
7, parking for public
Okay.
access.
The
I was
service
close.
shall be
Yes,
allowed
you
on
are.
the
You're
open
right
space
there.
land. And then that's something that the town just will take care of, like the parking lot, or what,
That's a good question.
who
Yeah.
would maintain is that part of the HOA? Is
Right,
that-
well, so, I mean, it does say for the ownership, it could be conservation commission, select
Yeah.
board can accept it as open space, a park,
Yeah,
the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, a nonprofit. So, it doesn't necessarily have to be a park or like,
yeah,
a playground or something.
Right.
It depends on what,
even if it was just trails, right, like there
right,
could
what
just
they're
be trails
proposing
going through.
use for.
And does it always have to be a park, a path, is that in there, or could it be just undeveloped land that's just there? Or does it have to be dedicated to something?
Well, it would have to be case by case, right?
Case
Because
by-
let's say
yeah.
it's a big old swamp, people aren't gonna wanna go hiking through it, right?
Yeah,
Yes, exactly. So if there's something that we want to protect, I mean,
Right.
that's different than,
Right.
setting aside the land to, so that's why it's special permit.
Right.
Yeah.
And all of that would be,
Yeah.
vetted through the.
And under NHES you know, if it's priority habitat, you're not gonna want people to go dashing around
Oh,
on-
no.
through it too, so that would be a factor.
Also good, so there's just, it just doesn't have to be this, and this, it's all by special permit, it's all like, what's there to be
Exactly.
protected, okay. Okay. I think that was it for my question. And what's the next step for this?
So, we're also gonna be meeting with Board of Health, get their input as well, cause if you recall at town meeting, there was some outspoken, Board of Health, you know, concerns. They have gone through it, from what I've been told. So hopefully they do feel better about it, cause they did want so you're gonna have two different plans. The concept plan and then the traditional plan. So you're gonna see in traditional subdivision, this many lots can be put here. And Board of Health wants to see all of those lots perkable. So that way they're not coming in into land where they can't even build and saying, oh, now we're gonna put it on smaller parcels, even though it wasn't buildable. So that is,
So it's like an alternative analysis type of thing.
correct. So
Okay,
but they
gotcha.
have to be able to prove that those lots are viable lots
Right.
on their own. And then they can say, okay, we have 20 lots here,
Right.
but we're gonna put them on smaller parcels and 50% of the land area is gonna be set aside for open space purposes.
What prevents the open space from being changed in the future? That's a big question.
That
right?
is the question I've had myself, because I am on planning board, I referred to the MBTA, we know that they're going through the Cedar Swampland, and they're also dumping chemicals for weed remediation,
Yeah.
which is concerning in the wetlands. So I have that question myself.
Right.
It does say in here, that it's supposed to be chapter 97, I believe is what they added in here, for it to say. Article 97, amendment to the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, or perpetual restriction under General Law, Chapter 184. So that's under, G2. So it's hard to say though. That is one of my concerns. And I'm not here to tell you, yes, this is good, this is
Yeah.
bad. I'm just here to get your input.
Yeah.
Is there any way, there must be other towns in Massachusetts that have put this into their bylaws. And
There are.
Is there any way for anybody, the representatives from Lakeville or whoever, to reach out to those towns and see what their pluses and negatives are for them having passed that as a special permit? Because that's the only way, I mean, we're like flying blind here. You can say, yeah, let's do this, but you have no idea what the results are gonna be unless you have somewhere else you can compare what's
Right.
happened.
Yeah. And I wonder though, if you reach out, does it depend on who you speak to? Whether it's a good thing or a
Well,
bad thing?
that's a very good point too. But, even planning, I mean, there's gonna be something that is gonna be a drawback. There's going to be something if somebody, do they have this in Carver? No.
You know, when I was a private consultant, I did a lot of work in North Attleboro, they have it.
Oh, in Foxborough, right? Did you say Foxborough has it too?
North Attleboro.
North Attleboro, but not,
I don't know, I
another
didn't
meeting.
do work in, so I can't say
Maybe-
for sure.
Foxborough, so Mark
I think
Resnick,
Mark
I
said
think he
Foxborough.
took,
Yeah.
the original draft was from Foxborough, because he had worked there
Right.
previously, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I just wondered.
Carver's kind of where we are right now, that's why I work for Carver.
Okay. But so, with Attleboro, do you have any, input as to how that worked there, or?
Well,
North Attleboro
I mean,
is very developed.
you're making like a village in a sense, you're doing a cluster thing and then you're setting, but you're still getting habitat islands and all that. But I guess it's better than just continuing with suburban sprawl, which is, beating up the whole area. I mean, there's no easy solution. I got nothing. I got no magic bullet, sorry. I mean, people seem okay with it because it is set inside some land, but, you know, it's still development.
Right.
Have you also gotten feedback from developers for any problems they might identify with this?
No, we haven't.
'Cause,
No,
you
they
know,
like it,
they're
it
the
keeps
ones,
their costs down.
they're gonna have
No,
to
they're-
comply with it,
yeah.
but, and it may be good for them, but they may see some issues that you might not have seen. You know, I'm sure there's certain developers that work in the area.
Well, that just means less houses
Well,
in a subdivision, right?
I think there have been inquiries to see, you know, has it passed? Are you willing to do this as far as OSRD? So I think they are eager to see this pass.
I guess sometimes you hear a lot in this town about we don't wanna, grow too fast because then the school system and the fire system department and the police department and the roads, et cetera. But this seems to kind of fast track that. You can fit more homes in.
Well, so the thing about it is, so because you have those two different plans, so first you're gonna submit a
It has to be
traditional.
equal. Yeah,
It can't be,
that's right.
so it's not
It
gonna be
can't
more,
You're right. I
so.
take that back. And I know for fire and police, actually, they like it because they're not driving up
Mhm.
big long driveways and trying to get to places when they're on fire. And they're all in a community,
Mhm.
in a cul-de-sac or whatever.
Mhm.
I just wonder about that, the use of the open space. Do people really use it? Or does it feel like you're intruding on someone's back, you're walking through somebody's backyard?
I guess it'd be how big of a parcel that open space is.
Yeah.
Is it like a couple acres and you're like done?
Yeah, what's the, so it's a percentage?
Yeah, 50%.
Not bad.
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than nothing.
But like I said, it does say that, so a minimum of 50% of upland of the parcel shall be dedicated open space as described below. Planning board may reduce this figure to a minimum of 40. But
Right.
so like, that's what I had said a little while ago, I'm not sure if you were here.
Yeah.
He had asked about the different colors, and those were items that planning board had talked about possibly tying to an allowance, like you can reduce it if, but this is a rough draft still, and we haven't really fully
Why would
fleshed
they
it.
ever let them reduce it?
Well, so that's why. So it says in here, if it determines there are unique circumstances, including shape of parcel, topography, wetlands, etc.
They'd let them reduce it?
So, but that's why I had suggested, let's tie it to something, like they're willing to make X number of affordable units, or they're willing to make X number of senior units, something like that was my thought. To try to, if we're gonna give an allowance, we should be getting something for the townspeople.
It's not a bad.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions,
No.
comments, concerns? Everybody's good? All right. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
No, keep plugging, it's a good
Yeah.
concept.
All right,
Thank you for including us.
my pleasure.
I just wanted to say, because I didn't say in the beginning, LakeCAM is recording this. Is anybody recording? No.
I'm recording this for the purposes of the minutes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. So now we're gonna move on to review the status of open space plan. We keep saying we're getting close.
We're pretty close to good to go.
Good to go. Yes,
So if you can try to figure out how to download that and send it to me.
yes, I will do that.
I have all the
tomorrow.
maps in place, everything's in place. So I'll just send it on its way.
Yep.
And I'll let you know when I send it on its way.
All right. We're definitely getting close. Thank goodness. So, hopefully like in another month, I'll get these maps down and get them over to Joan, and then Joan's gonna send them over to Tracy to format, grammar, punctuation, things like that, and then hopefully we can be done with that. So, That's
So I
good.
guess what I'll do is I'll use the things that I don't have new, they can't be that, they
Right.
can't be that different, so I'll
The
put
water
them
and
in and
sewer.
we'll hear back from somebody if they're not accepted.
Oh,
And well,
absolutely.
then we'll have to find them, so I
Yeah.
think that's just, put it together and
Mhm.
send it on its
I
way.
think I have the water and sewer map.
Okay,
And I think I was holding it because I wasn't sure if it needed to be updated, but then when I have talked to people, in other boards.
all right, so just send me that, cause I don't
Yeah.
have one at all, and I can print
Okay.
it and put it in. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now we gotta move on to approve the September minutes. Did anyone
Boy,
have?
that took a long time
Oh,
to read through
geez,
those.
really? Those
The
were
September minutes?
I'm kidding.
brutal.
Yeah, I'm being facetious.
Oh, I was like, what did
I looked
what
at it and I
did
said, wait a
I
minute.
was like,
It's very brief.
very,
Was not much going on that time.
yeah,
So, anybody need to amend anything?
it's a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Looks like there were no updates and that was that, so, I need a vote to approve the September minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Yay. All right, that was all done. Wow, I printed off like 100 of these. Okay, next, the discuss possible vote of due process of keeping up with the open space plan. Did we just kind of throw things around last time? We were just kind of
more
like,
for brainstorming
yeah.
than anything else.
I actually don't even know where we left off with that.
I think we were thinking once it was finished, you could keep it open and
Right,
insert things.
just keep inserting when something
Right.
happens,
Right,
somebody,
when things change, just
Yeah.
put them on the town web, on the open space website. Then
right,
when it comes, we won't have this problem that we had this time, the next time.
right. So we'll just keep our eyes and ears open for everything, and I guess it would be good if we can get updates from all the different departments, committees, and then, that way we'll have the information. It's not like, hey, it's 7 years and we gotta redo the whole thing. So, okay, so I'll just, maybe every month I'll just keep on, just, any updates from anybody for the, plan. So that's it. Next item is, I had put out there reorganizing the board.
You're going to school full time.
I am. I have a lot on my plate.
I see you.
But if you guys can help me, I will stay where I am, but
What, so I don't know if you saw my email.
I
'cause it
did,
was-
yes.
So, then at least we could try to compartmentalize it,
Yes.
maybe.
So, I'm not sure if I'm doing everything right, but
I know,
Obviously, I have-
Nobody's told you how to do it, so.
nobody
yeah, I
told me
know.
how to do this, so.
I know, I get it.
I just put together agenda, right? I do that. When Kathy will send the minutes and then, I send them out to everybody to be approved. And then when they're done, I send them to Tracy so that she can post them or whatever needs to be done. Like sometimes I'll go on just to see what other towns are doing with their open space. I try to look around and get ideas and what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like we're a great committee, we should be. So for instance, I had looked at Plimpton and they actually got a grant. It was called the MVP grant, Municipal Vulnerability.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm
you're talking? Yeah, because,
Preparedness, I think it's
yeah,
called.
isn't Lakeville doing something about it?
Lakeville has gone a couple. In 2018 and 2021, they got a couple.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were used for though. I couldn't see.
I
But
couldn't see.
it didn't really say when I clicked on the map. It
Hmm.
just looked like it was like around the town hall area. Like it showed like a circle. But Plimpton got 500,000 and they preserved 280 acres, which is amazing.
Are they on the water? Plimpton's not on the water. Are they on the water? Do they have rivers?
It's
or-
there's a big watershed there. Oh, I
Okay.
can't even say
Yeah,
the
yeah,
word.
yeah.
Winneconne, and they made like boardwalks and like preserved all this land because of the watershed
Right,
where it dumps
exactly.
into and everything.
Right.
So like, I see things like
That's
that and I was
kind
like,
of a no-brainer for Lakeville, right?
yes, we have so much water. So, I mean, I guess I'm new to this, so I don't know how to go after these things. I see these wonderful grants and things that other towns are doing, like Dartmouth and all that. It's just, I don't know how to do that.
Do we have anyone in town that's a
Grant
that's a
writer?
grant writer?
Yeah, I don't know. That's something I'd have to find out.
Yeah, let's check that out, because that's the
Yeah.
secret. Yeah, just gotta, know how to put them together.
Yeah. But I thought that was huge for them.
Mm.
And then they did have to use some CPC funds, but
Right.
that's a lot of land, and what they
Yeah.
did was great. And then they made this beautiful walking path and stuff for the town, so. So that's what else I do. Sometimes when I have a free time, I try to look at other open space plans. I was just amazed that some towns don't even have open space, like Rochester doesn't have open space, and neither does, I think it was Dayton.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think it just all goes through conservation. So,
Do they, when Adam was the chair, they used to give him plans all the time in a mailbox down at town hall.
they see even plans?
Plans. He
The
would
planning
show
board?
up with plans.
Yeah,
So I don't know that they stopped doing that.
they
or,
did.
You know, Mark was kind of keeping us up to being informed, up to date on requests and stuff that were coming in, but I mean, do we have that ability?
That's what I'm trying. I got us this. I spoke up, and I was like,
I mean, aren't they
Open
supposed to be
space
putting that, like, all that stuff in the mailbox?
So I have been kind of making noise and saying, we have this wonderful open space plan. I think we should need to be involved in more stuff. So I've been kind of
Yeah.
vocal.
Yeah.
So again, going back to what I do.
The select board might be able to point you in a direction for writing grants, because they must tackle into grants
Yeah.
fairly often, because they're the select board,
Right. So I don't know if we could find someone who writes a grant. Maybe then we can say, listen, we have this grant. Well,
Writing a grant's gonna be much like making the open space plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta really know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh yeah, you should see the one that Plimpton wrote. Well, they wrote up this whole resilience plan, and I mean, it was like a book, and they were like, Mass Audubon was a part of it, National Heritage. Like they had all these sponsors and all these people gathered all this information and they submitted this plan. It was huge, a huge plan.
In Carver, one of the select board, she's a PhD, Sarah Hewins. She writes grants.
Oh wow.
So if you want, I can ask
Yeah.
her and
Yeah.
see if she'll send you some pointers or in a direction maybe.
Right.
She's pretty good at it, because she does get them.
Right, but I guess we'd have to pinpoint what we want to do with it. I guess you can't just try to just give us a bunch of money, we sit on
We'll
it.
figure it out.
We'll figure it out later. So
Yeah,
I
so it'd be
guess,
good to have something, and I'll ask her
Yeah.
and see what she says.
yeah, so I guess, that's something we could think about, like, is there a parcel, is there something in town that we could strive to,
Mm-hmm.
Because she's getting one from the state right now. She was, we had a conservation meeting last night, and she came in, she asked for $6,000 from our budget for chainsaws, chaps, loppers, and
Right.
all that for doing trails and everything maintenance.
yeah,
And if she fills out the grant right, she'll get back 90% of that money. We'll get, so
That's
she's
huge.
doing it. So, and she does get them. So I'll ask. So there is money out there, even for little things like that.
yes.
So
But we just need to now maybe come together and say, what do we want to do as an open space committee? Like, is there,
Well, the resiliency thing has
Well,
to
then
do
we
with
would have,
climate
then if we
change.
did that, we would know who to approach for a grant.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah.
I mean, we have priority parcels in town, but they're still kind of owned.
They don't belong to us.
So,
What if they come out of conservation though, if the person...
right.
Are we ever gonna think any more about this, completely changing the
Sure.
subject? Holding those, I thought it was a good idea to kind of hold conversations with homeowners that they
Yeah,
could
we
come
should
to
yeah.
and talk about,
Yeah, we can put that together.
because I think education is probably key
It
in
really
this
is,
town.
and having them and talking to them about the open space. That
Yeah, I mean, and their options and
right.
why they might want to
It's good
instead
to
of...
get their opinion. I mean, do we want to keep this a rural town? I think we do. So
Everybody wants to keep it a rural town, but then it's made up of individuals who all have
Yeah.
different needs. So it's
exactly,
pretty tough.
exactly.
So anyway, you're gonna stay on as chair?
I guess I will.
Yay, yay you.
But I'm gonna need help, people. So if everybody can just help,
It's your call. You wanna stay and try and dole it out, or?
I'll stay as chair. It's just, sometimes I feel like I'm not given 100%. Like, I feel like there should be so much more. I'm not sure what other, chairmen used to do.
Well, no,
So,
I
Do we
mean,
wanna have a vice chair who can take some of the pressure off of
do
you?
you-
Well, I can for now. I may be moving on eventually, like I told you before,
Yes.
but while I'm around, yeah. Oh, are we gonna be having meetings here, or was that just?
This was just a special meeting, cause to meet with.
Because I'll
the
still do
committee.
the key thing and everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, this was just a special meeting for
okay,
that.
okay.
Just checking.
Yeah, no, this
I didn't
is,
wanna go get a key and sit in there next meeting going, woo-hoo-hoo.
well, I didn't get a key last
Right.
time, so. I forgot
That's
about
okay,
that
that's a
one.
bit of an, that's all right, you were, I can get that, I understand.
I literally drove there and I was like, I don't have a key. So, yes, I will stay on and you,
Yeah, just tell me what you want me to help you with.
Do we have to vote on this?
we probably do.
I nominate Gary
I
as,
second.
I already am
Yeah,
vice,
yeah.
I already am vice chair.
oh, then why, what was that all about?
I don't know, she brought it up.
It's three organizations, so we have to vote.
Oh, man.
I just said I'd help. No, I'm already
You're
in.
right,
I was
yes.
chair before for about a couple months, and she wanted to
Yeah,
be
that's
chair,
right,
so I
that's
said
right,
you can
that's
have
right.
it.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Now you can be vice chair.
He is vice
It
chair.
is.
Does
Yay.
anybody else would like to be nominated for vice chair? Oh, look at the looks of the nose. Okay, Gary.
All right.
Thank you, that's awesome.
So,
So I left a message for Leah, trying to get in, because December was just a blur.
Yeah.
Holiday months
it
are
is.
not easy for
Absolutely.
this type of thing. But I left a message for her, but, you know, she has a full-time job too. So I'm just waiting to hear back. Because sounds a little, I appreciate the fact that the Board of Selectmen wants to be notified if we're gonna be contacting, I guess, or discussing parcels of land that homeowners might be interested in, I guess, having purchased from them by the town. But you'd think it would work both ways, that they would get in touch with us when they heard this kind of information and be like, you know, what's your opinion? Why don't you go look at it?
right.
So I'm a little confused as to what they're gonna say, but if they have a, you know, a preferred way they'd like to
Mhm.
be informed that we've been, you know, we're looking at, we're talking to somebody, or
Right.
we're hoping to talk to somebody, or thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
then
Oh, are
can
we
definitely
meeting next month?
communicate that.
Since we're meeting so late this month,
Oh, let's see. And
And I had brought up maybe changing
You
the
wanna go-
night for, maybe go to the third Thursday.
third
That would
Thursday
match
or
up
the
with-
first Thursday works for you or whatever?
But this is the third, so if you don't.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it would be a month from now, again, if the third Thursday of the month works, because
Does that
I
matter
do
to
have
anybody?
conflicts on the second and fourth.
Oh, you
know.
do?
I
Okay.
do, but I could still make
Yes.
it on the second, I just go to my other meeting late.
Okay.
Fourth's out for me because I have historical commission,
Fourth
but
is
third's
out.
okay.
Is the third work for everybody then?
third Thursday?
The third Thursdays, does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, sure.
think it's
What,
better.
6 o'clock?
Yeah. can
So I
we
do my
s-
key thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
can get there.
we're gonna see the.
Like others that forgot to get it.
So the third Thursday in February would be February 15th. Does that work for everybody? The day after Valentine's Day?
Aww.
Okay.
All right, 6 PM, okay.
Does that change require a
Let's see.
vote? or-
We could do it just for
Yeah,
formality's
well,
sake, it wouldn't
yeah,
hurt.
So we're not messing up.
Yeah. So anyone makes a motion?
Make a motion, third Thursday of each month, starting at 6 at the COA.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
so third Thursday, all right,
Okay.
February.
It's Thursday.
I know.
All right. Do we have any updates from anybody for the?
That was my
estimates?
update about
That was your
calling.
update?
That was
Thank
about
you.
trying to get in
I
touch
checked
with
the
Lisa.
Conservation
Yeah.
Commission, what they have for minutes, they don't keep up with, I think they're into August, maybe September, you know, from last year. It's, everything they've been working on pretty much is single-family homes, septic repair.
Oh, right.
But nothing real,
Nothing.
no.
Okay.
Their minutes are pretty good though, so if anything was there, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it'd be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything from historical going on?
Nothing this month. We didn't even have a meeting last month.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
You don't meet all the time?
we usually don't meet in December.
Yeah.
Now, for Brian, he doesn't call back, does he?
No,
I did leave him a message like you asked
I
also,
did, I
but
left
I
a
did too.
message, so I wasn't
You,
sure.
you really, he can't come here.
Right, that's why I left a message, so he just didn't go to last week, thinking last
Oh,
week was
that
the
was-
thing. But,
Does he hang out at all at COA in town, do you know?
does anybody know?
Cause I could leave a message with, them over there and just say, hey, if you see Brian,
Right,
Ryan Reynolds?
yeah,
I don't see him very often. Sometimes he goes to, if I have a Focus on Lakeville program, I've seen him for those, but he's not usually, I don't think he lives in town. I
he lives
don't
in
even know.
Sandwich.
He lives
He lives in
Sandwich or
Sandwich.
something like
Yeah.
that.
So,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
He was supposed to, he said he was moving,
Oh,
so
he did?
yeah.
I haven't seen him
Hope it's
for
closer
a
for
long
him.
time.
Yeah, yeah, so I don't know, but yeah, I tried giving him a call.
or
too.
didn't we have a way we were leaving messages for him in a doorway or something
At
somewhere?
the Historical Society.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. 'cause
Maybe
he's
we
there
could
every
leave him a
weekend,
note
right?
there too,
If
just
he
some,
wants
Isn't he at the
that.
historical every weekend?
Yeah.
I don't know if he still goes,
I
but
don't know either, now that, is it even,
it's cold, you know?
Well,
Some-
he should
but
have,
it's still
I should
open
see
on
him at
Friday.
Historical Society
it
next
is,
week,
but
so
I'm not sure.
I'll tell him.
you'll tell him what the third
Have you ever been
Thursday
there?
And
now?
we move to the
Hmm?
third
Have you ever
Thursday.
been?
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
alright.
I wish they'd, put air conditioning and stuff in it, cause a lot of the paperwork and stuff's getting kinda grody.
That's too bad.
Oh, yeah. That's
Ouch.
too bad. Community Preservation Committee updates, there's gonna be a public meeting on February 1st, so if you guys wanna come to that for the CPC. I'm not sure where it's going to be at yet, but there will be a notice, or something should be coming out. And there was, the parks, has run into an issue with their water, because they were gonna come from Blueberry Estates, but now that's not gonna work out.
Oh,
So-
at the John Pond?
Yeah, so now they're not sure about the 25,000 that they applied for, because now they're gonna have to hook up from, I think, further away, which costs a lot more. So, that's happening with that. Good news about the town hall, it came in under, so I think the money that they requested from CPC will be going back. So,
Wow,
which was
nice.
great.
Wow.
Yep, so that money will be coming back, and then
The cemetery commissioner, do we
cemetery
have to
should
sign,
sign.
you have to sign an agreement for that?
Yes.
Is the agreement ready?
Yes, we went over that,
So will someone email it to me or?
yes, I will check on that. Yes, the agreement, we were fixing that, just some.
Make sure you email it to me because I'm the one that's handling it,
Okay.
and not Ken, the chairman.
Yeah,
What was the cemetery commission doing with them? I'm just curious, I don't remember it.
We're gonna, reset table stones at Thompson Hill and
Oh,
upright some of the old stones that have tipped over. There's two
some-
table stones that have collapsed
Yeah,
and they're just laying on the ground.
that's
And they're
true.
really old, so we don't want
That's
them to
true
get
at
broken.
Pickens too, you
yeah, so hopefully we,
know, up on Vigors.
yeah, hopefully we can maybe go
Yeah.
around the town, fix them all, right, one by one.
One by one, but I mean, the two table stones are the primary focus. And then
Yeah.
after we see how much money we have left after the two table stones are reset,
Yeah,
they're going on granite legs.
oh,
And we'll see how much
You
money we have
really
left in the
talking
funds.
right.
Wow.
Is
I had someone from Colonial Stone come over and he did an estimate. And he looked at the worst stones and he said, well, we'll start with the table stones. Because the price of things goes up and down. I mean, granite is expensive.
yeah,
Because it has to be granite legs.
Holy
So we'll see.
yeah. Is the
And I
goal,
think he's gonna put a proposal together to give to the CPC and how much, now that we know that we have the grant,
yeah,
how much it will actually cost
Wow.
for materials to set them.
eventually is the goal for the cemetery commission to like even ones that are laying over, like all of them, just to get all of them back up?
I mean, the table stones are one entity. And then if there's any money left, then we have stones that are tipping over that are really old. And
Yeah,
if they tip over, that'll be the end of them. Or some of them have sunk into the ground, so like only this much is left out. And then when they mow it, they'll snap them off. So
yeah.
we'll see what we have left after the table stones are set.
Yeah, very good.
Is that the oldest cemetery in town? Okay.
Oh, wow. Or I thought it'd be something else.
So it's good, 1800, I mean, there are really old stones in there.
Is there? That's the one on 79, right?
Mm.
79, like near
Right
LeBaron and all
by
that.
LeBaron,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought,
Okay.
Mhm.
interesting. So I think that's on the community preservation updates from myself. And, reviewing the next meeting. Anything, do you guys want me to put anything on the next agenda?
Just right now, just the standard stuff.
Just the standard.
Just update the plan,
Yeah,
all the regular discussions and,
So I said that I would go into the APC meetings,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
have no concept of how to.
find out when
Who,
they are.
yes, exactly. I have no.
Is there a
information.
website?
I don't know. They meet every 3 months or something like
Oh,
that.
every 3 months?
Yeah,
Hmm,
and I just don't know who I'm supposed to contact.
Nancy is in charge of it.
Nancy Eads?
Yep, she's in charge.
And do you have contact information for her you can give me?
I can, yes, I can
You
probably
don't have
find
to
it.
do it
Okay,
right now, but thank you.
yes.
don't forget too, Amy, you got your little caveat at the bottom of this, that were, you know, the, unforeseen.
Oh,
So if someone does think of something that's not on the agenda, you
yeah,
can bring it up.
yeah, okay.
So you just
You are
put
the
on
chair.
other things that may come before the committee,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that covers anything else that might come up.
I guess the only thing I wanted to say, if I have things to give, would you rather me just bring packets here for you guys?
I was coming from, I couldn't get home
Yeah.
before I
So would
got
it be better if I had packets here, if I have like,
here. If the meeting's at 6, I'm good. You
Oh.
don't have to
okay,
package me.
okay.
Thank you.
I just don't know if people have trouble printing or,
I can do it myself.
yeah, okay. Alright, so, I think that's it, I think. Someone might make a motion,
Motion to adjourn.
someone second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Everybody second.
Aye.
Aye.